Hi, Chris. Thanks for agreeing to answer a few questions for us today. I know a lot of people may not know that Spray and Harrell's recently partnered up to be able to provide a more seamless and comprehensive support system for lawn care operators like yourself. We know you use Spray to manage your operations as your CRM, and you also happen to rely heavily on Harrell's to provide you with reliable and high quality fertilizer products and other types of lawn treatment products. And at the same time, I know, they also love to jump in and advise you on best practices along the way. So just had a couple of questions for you about your experience with those things. So to get started, if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about why you chose Harrell's as your go-to provider for lawn care products that you use to make your lawn care program stand out from your competition.
Absolutely. About 5 years ago, I retired from a full-time job and I was in a totally different field. But because I grew up on a farm, loved working outdoors, so I just started to start a lawn care business. I was a weed control, or excuse me, a mow and blow kind of guy. Had plenty of customers that asked me to do stuff that was beyond what I had a license for. So I went through Clemson University and got the certified not only landscaper's degree, but I also had gotten the commercial applicator's license. And since this was not something that was, my first job, if you will, there was going to be some learning curves for me. So I had actually had plenty of customers kept asking me to do, weed control fertilization, and I loved it, and I wanted to do more of it. So once I got those, I started to grow a business on that. The two businesses started to compete with each other, and I decided a couple years ago to fully move to weed control fertilization, aeration overseed, and was using some local products. But I still felt like I had a thirst for knowledge and that I needed somebody to kind of help me, get my craft better and be better at what I did. And so I had kind of reached out and spoke to Court Hall, who was my rep at Harrell's, and I was really impressed with, him taking the time to, explain to me some of the things that I had questions about. I'm a person who I like to explain things to my customers. I want them to understand what I'm doing, what products I'm applying, what benefits they'll have. And, really from an education standpoint, I feel like if I educate my customers, it would definitely make the customer service side of it better for me. And I actually found Court to be very beneficial in that. And I liked the fact as a new business and was growing, it appeared that he would take on the interest of helping a small business grow. And that was important to me. And they could get to my products to me without me having to go chase them down. And they were quality products. So as a result, I quickly said, yeah, let's give this a shot. And we did it, and been very happy ever since.
That's awesome. So would you mind sharing a little bit about, I know you mentioned quality, but would you mind sharing a little bit about your thoughts on the quality and the value that you get from those Harrell's products that you purchase?
Well, the one nice thing about it is that the quality is wonderful as far as it goes. I mean, I think for me, the way I evaluate the quality of the product and the service is that what is the results that I'm getting, and what is the feedback from the customers that I'm doing it for are giving me. And when the customers are telling me, man, my yard has never looked better, I appreciate that. And you're in a community and you start off with 5 homes, and now I have 60 homes in one community. It's just a matter of, I want my yard to look like his yard. And that was a total result of me getting better at my craft, but also having quality products. And so I think for me, the way I measure the value is truly by the results that I'm getting in my properties and the free referrals that I get just because of how my properties look.
That's awesome. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. So you started using Spray for the first season this year. So 2024 was the first year you started using it. What were some factors that made you choose Spray when you made that decision?
Well, I've always wanted to look for, vendors that I wanted my business to be customer service based. I wanted it something that, I got referrals simply because of happy customers, and somebody who's willing to take the time to educate me and to answer my questions from a vendor standpoint is something I wanted to be affiliated with. So, I wasn't ready for the transition, but 2 years ago, I met with you and kind of was evaluating not only your software but some other softwares. And this past year, I decided that my business had grown so much that I had to have something to help me cut down on the paperwork side of it. The text notifications, the follow up to the chemical tracking, billing, all those different type of things. And I really felt like that your product fit me the best simply because you seem to be customer service driven as well. You wanted to make sure that I was happy. You wanted to make sure that I was, getting answers to my questions. And I felt like that, from what the two different demonstrations that you did, that I felt like the product was exactly what I wanted, nothing more, nothing less. And so, I dove in, used it. And I'm still a newbie to the software. I know there's things that I'm going to learn more about it and be able to use it more efficiently. But it has already greatly improved my daily operations and my communications with my customers, and more importantly, the time that I get the billing out, and then of course, obviously, being able to get the revenue back in the door.
What about the onboarding process? Did our team here help you out and make sure you were set up for success?
Yes, luckily for me, I did it in a little bit of my off-season time frame, but to take the volume of customers in the onboarding process and basically infiltrate that into your system, so I didn't have to create that. But that was great. I am a hands-on type of learner, so in my past medical career, it was see one, do one, teach one. So for me, I have to be that person that has the hands-on approach. So we left some stuff out where I could actually physically do the work, enter the data myself, so I could learn the system, which was helpful. Each time that I had questions or problems, I could reach out to Callie or I could reach out to you, and would get a quick response. We would also be able to set up a Zoom meeting to walk me through some of those things. So, from an onboarding process, I didn't feel like it was like a one time, here's all the information, now go take care of yourself. It was definitely, here's the information, go utilize it. Now let's follow up and see how things are going. Do you need any additional training? And I don't really feel like I know everything right now, but I certainly know that I feel like the ongoing process or the onboarding process is continuing. And that's because from the customer service side of it, I feel like that I'm getting from Spray. So, even though the initial part was great, what's more great to me is that it continues. It just doesn't really stop.
Awesome. Awesome. So back to Harrell's for a minute. So do you see a benefit in using Polyon controlled release fertilizer, and how does it change the way that you build and deliver your lawn treatment program?
It certainly does. I mean, I love the fact that, when you're using a quick release fertilizer or you're using a fertilizer that not every customer that you have is going to have an in-ground irrigation system, so they may not be able to water the product in. I love the Polyon technology where you have a certain amount of soil, as long as you have a certain amount of soil moisture, and that along with the soil temperature will actually start to degrade or break down this polycoat and provide a controlled release amount of the nutrients that you're trying to get out over an extended period of time. So it took away some of the fear of burning lawns because of putting out a fertilizer that if nobody could water it in, or it wasn't going to rain in the coming days. It eliminated that aspect. Having the controlled release aspect of it also allowed me to expand my business to a degree where I started doing a lot more liquid applications where I could actually mix 4 or 5 different products to not only control weeds, pre-emergent, post-emergent, but also do some other stuff with micronutrients and bios and wetting agents that I didn't have in my toolbox before. Building the program so that you can have a granular component and a liquid component really has, been a big success for me in my business, and Polyon technology is part of that.
Awesome. So when it comes to building those programs, do you feel like Spray makes it easy to implement those programs you put together for the lawns that you treat?
Yes, because the reality of it is, I mean, it takes a little time, obviously, to go in and put the actual products that you're going to use and what rates you plan to use them, and which type of equipment that you're going to get and do. But once you've got the products in the system, one time they're always in there. Then you can actually add them to your services or your programs that you complete. And when you kind of plug and play it like that, and then you just assign a whole list of customers to a certain service or to a certain program, all of stuff is just immediately filled in, and then you complete your applications and you note that all of that stuff kind of from a chemical tracking standpoint is there for us not only to to email to the customers. In my case, it emails them immediately as soon as I finish the application. I don't at night have to go back and figure out what was the temperature when I took that picture on my phone and what product did I use and do that, saving 3 and 4 hours of time. So So absolutely. I'm at it is certainly something that there's some nuances, and I'm still learning some things. And I have, some properties that are a little unique where it might be cool season in one side and warm season in another. And so we have to get creative. And, you've helped me with that and have a good plan for 2025 to make it even better. So I'm certainly happy with that aspect of it.
Awesome. So you've talked about all kinds of things that you love about Harrell's and also Spray. So to kind of wrap everything up, could you share kind of what the one thing you like most about using Spray and also about your relationship with Harrell's is?
From the spray aspect of it, I mean, it's certainly time and efficiency. I mean, you can only have so much time in the day, and to be able to communicate like I like to communicate to my customers, which is the pre-notifications. I'm here. I'm coming. This is the day I'm coming. The flexibility to be able to modify that and reschedule those things, and still be able to notify everyone. I was a person who just did the old school stuff. I was a spreadsheet guy and I was a text message guy because I wanted to be that person. Not the best business model for a large business, but it was what made my business successful. Fortunately, now my business is more successful because now I've got more time to focus on the customer service side of it, in addition to still providing all those notifications and of course billing and things of that nature. So I would say time and efficiency has just been a godsend for me from that perspective. As far as from Harrell's goes, I can't really say enough about. I was looking for someone who could, that would be willing to coach me. And Harrell's not only wants to provide you quality products, but my particular rep, has been extremely helpful in just, hey man, here's what you need to do or need to think about if you want to grow your business, and I want to help you grow your business. And when someone tells you that they want to help you grow your business, that's huge, And the reality is, the more successful I am, the more successful he'll be. And we both understand that. And because of that, it's just a really good working relationship, in my opinion. I love the fact that it's basically Harrell's being an employee owned company versus a privately traded. I feel like that the level of customer service in an employee owned company is kind of where my mindset is, and way better than a publicly traded company, where they're more happy about taking care of the shareholders than taking care of their customers. And so that's the one thing that I liked about Harrell's. And again, I've gotten the same sense from working with Spray, so I think those two just fit me and my mindset the best because of that.
Awesome. Well, Chris, I appreciate your time today. Look forward to continue working with you and continue helping you grow.
I appreciate it, Brian. Thank you very much.
All right.